Fire. Air. Water. Only the last angry avatar could so screw up these powers that he'd have to retire to his mother's basement and review comic books. Welcome back to Republic City. It's been a wild few weeks since Avatar Korra defeated Kuvera and her Earth Empire before disappearing into the spirit world with longtime companion Asami Sato. Politics are on the mind as a new political election is looming, and one of the subjects that will decide the election is how to best combat rising gang violence. Another thing people are beginning to wonder about are Korra and Asami. Are they more than good friends? Well, this reporter can confirm that yes, they're best friends. But can the humans of Republic City become friends with the spirits who continue to pour out of the newly opened spirit portal at the heart of the city? Only time will tell. And speaking of interactions, will Korra and Asami, whom the public for some reason has dubbed Korrasami, ever find true love? With heterosexual male partners of their choosing? This reporter wishes them the best in that department. Speaking of departments, the League of Departments charity choir is here to sing about whether or not we'll ever get to portray a same-sex kiss on their children's network. Nix to the lesbians. Thank you. And since we have no more mover footage of what happens next, we take you to the only heterosexual man we could find who'd be interested in watching two hot girls kiss, the Last Angry Geek. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Comic Book Issues. I'm your host, Brian Heinz, the Last Angry Geek. And I admit I'm a little slow. It took me a while to get into Avatar The Last Airbender, but once I did, I loved it. And I was able to catch up with Legend of Korra to before the final season aired, and frankly, I liked Korra more than Avatar. It was more adult. By adding the steampunk elements, it felt more modern. I was also in the dark about the whole Korrasami thing till a little bit before the finale aired. To me, it just seemed like Korra and Asami had become close friends, but I'm not shocked to learn they were a couple. It's just that Nickelodeon was never going to be the ones to break grounds by having a same-sex couple kiss on one of their cartoons. But like all good things, Legend of Korra came to an end. But, like Avatar, there was room for more stories. Season 4 has ended, but thanks to Dark Horse Comics, Season 5 has begun. Released in their larger-than-manga, but smaller than a normal comic book-sized digest, Turf Wars picks up where Season 4 left off. And all your favorites are back. Korra, Asami, Mako, the Air Nation, Chief Beifong, the rest. Written by Michael Dante DiMartino and drawn by Irene Coe, Turf Wars is a 3-part series that continues the adventures of the Water Tribe Avatar. Today, we look at part 1 of this 3-part series. It's literally moments after the end of the cartoon series as Asami and Korra enter into the spirit world, full of red skies, forests, and vaguely phallic jellyfish spirits. They have a great time, except when their rock climbing turns out to be on a grumpy rock spirit who's unhappy about the new portal. Unfortunately, this also means they've lost most of their supplies and it's time to head home. But before they do, they share a kiss. Well, it's about damn time. Eesh! Feels like I waited 4 years for that kiss, or more realistically, 13 episodes. They realize they've bonded over the last 3 years after Korra was poisoned, but they couldn't act on those feelings until she'd recovered and recentered herself, leading into the beginning of Season 4. Korra decides to take the long way home, and they exit through the southern portal, surprising her parents and making Asami nervous about revealing their relationship for the first time. But Korra's as impetuous as ever, and her parents are actually pretty happy about it. But when Dad tries to caution Korra against announcing it for fear of alienating others, she storms out with Asami, who reminds her she'll stand by her, but a part of her wouldn't mind having more time to themselves before they go public. Realizing she wasn't listening to what her girlfriend wanted, Korra apologizes, and they head to Republic City. As they leave the spirit portal, they find Jinora and a tribe of air nomads arguing with an older man about who owns the land the portal appears on. The man is Wanyong Hume, a former business associate of Asami's late father. He owns this land and plans on turning it into an amusement park of sorts. Korra is torn between sharing the spirit world with the public and anyone profiting off it when the dragon eel spirit, last seen in Season 2, arrives. You know, one of the things I always liked about the world of Avatar was that every single animal was a hybrid mix of 2 other animals, with the exception of one very inbred bear. Hey, how about we have a contest? Take your 2 favorite animals and draw a picture of what they'd look like together. Then send your picture to your house's recycling bin. Care of, I don't really have time for this. I'll choose one winner to receive $10. Oh look, an amoeba crab. We have a winner, and it's me. What an honor. Congratulations to everyone who entered. Whereas the spirit previously refused to aid the Avatar in human spirit matters, now it feels it has no choice since she opened the portal in the middle of the largest human city there is. It demands she keep the spirits safe. When Hume demands they vacate, she goes into the Avatar state to intimidate him and his men off the property. Meanwhile, gangs are fighting over control of the streets. The creeping crystals are trying to force out the triple threats, but their new leader, Tokuga, won't hear it. Wielding a pair of hook swords, he even chi blocks the benders. But when the police arrive, both gangs scatter. Beifong and her crew, including Mako and Bo Lin, catch a few small fish. One of them is Ping, who knew the brothers back in their criminal days. Bo Lin is now temporarily working as a policeman, shoring up their depleted reserves, and has been assigned as Mako's partner, who's thrilled about it. No, really. They're able to trick Tokuga's name out of Ping, who explains that when the gangs vacated the city during the Earth Empire invasion, Tokuga stepped in, rounded up the remaining criminals, and formed a new empire that's taking whatever the old gangs have left. Korrasami reunite with Tenzin and his family, who are volunteering at a refugee camp, aiding displaced citizens. Tenzin praises Zhu Li's skills as the only good thing going for the camp. President Reiko is too preoccupied with his re-election campaign to help the refugees. Kaya, Tenzin's sister, thinks an appearance by Korra would help lift spirits, but Asami wants to find a more practical way to help, leading to a brief tiff between girlfriends, not unnoticed by Kaya. Avatar meets the citizens, but is quickly overwhelmed by requests for help. She addresses them, saying that they can look at this as a time of a new beginning, earning applause from the approving masses. Asami, meanwhile, has come up with some easy-to-assemble housing plans, but they'll need Reiko's approval.
Oh, Korra. You've come so far, but in the end you still need a man's approval? No, I haven't been paying attention to my own review. Why? Zoning permits. Oh, well, Oh, Korra, you've come so far, but in the end you still need a man's approval for your Spirit Portal's landmark status.
President Reiko is more interested in his new campaign posters. His manager lays it out. He surrendered to the Earth Empire during the war and is extremely unpopular. To win the re-election, he'll need to project strength. Korra and company arrive, but Reiko won't budge. The city's budget is already stretched too thin. Julie and Asami offer to put money from Varric and Future Industries into this project, and Reiko's campaign manager knows he needs to win over the voters, so the president agrees to the new housing projects. But when Korra asks him to buy the Spirit Portal land from Kyum, he plays the broke card again. Korrasami are enjoying a sunset together on Airbender Island when Kaya arrives. She thinks they make a nice couple. When asked how she knew, Kaya reveals she's gay. Korra's still upset about how her parents reacted, but it's tradition to keep personal matters private in the Southern Water Tribe. She explains that Aang, her father in the last Avatar, was very supportive, as airbenders have always been accepting of same-sex relationships.
Remember, what happens in the air stays in the air. But for those of us on the ground, it's probably a good idea to carry an umbrella.
But while the Air Nation might have been tolerant, other nations weren't as accepting. The Fire Lord Sozin outlawed same-sex relationships. Avatar Kyoshi of the Earth Kingdom was bi, but could not earn acceptance for this lifestyle in the Earth Empire. Republic City is the most accepting place for this sort of thing, and Kai encourages them to be true to what they want when Mako and Bolin arrive. There's some awkward small talk, but before Mako can find out that both his ex-girlfriends are dating, they're interrupted by Ghost Girl, aka Jinora. The triple threats and Tokuga are attacking the Spirit Portal. Team Avatar heads out. The Airbenders are losing ground when Korra and company turn the tide. Mako heads for Tokuga. He's quickly outdone by the crime lord, but Bolin comes to his rescue, lava-bending a throwing star that destroys the crime boss's hook swords. Then the dark spirits emerge from the portal. Korra begs them to stop. This will just provoke a retaliation, but they've had enough. The Avatar failed to protect this portal, and now they will take over. Korra tries to stop the Dragon Eel spirit when she sees Asami being overwhelmed by the triple threats. She saves her girlfriend, but the Dragon Eel hones in on Tokuga. It phases through the gang leader, who then retreats with his men. Relieved, the ladies kiss, and now everything's out. Mako, of course, is a little overwhelmed. On a more practical level, they wonder why the triple threats would go from taking over gang territory to seizing the Spirit Portal. Korra's guess? Someone paid them to do it. Some sinister men burst into Kyum's office. He didn't warn them that the Avatar might be there. Kyum wants to know what happened to Tokuga. The Dragon Eel spirit attacked him. It changed him. He's now half man, half Dragon Eel. Or is that half human, half spirit?
Or is that half human and a quarter dragon and a quarter eel? Anyway, Tokuga seizes Kyum and seizes control of Kyum Industries. From now on, he's in charge.
Oh, wait, now he's an eel, dragon, spirit, man? This is getting complicated. Does anyone have a flowchart? Well, anyway, that's the first volume of Turf Wars. It was published in July of 2017, with Part 2 coming out in January of 2018, and the finale just recently in August of 2018. But does it live up to the high standards of the Legend of Korra cartoon? Let's take a closer look at the Legend of Korra Turf Wars Part 1.
As far as adaptations go, this one hits the mark. If you're a fan of Legend of Korra, you're going to like this comic book. The art perfectly mirrors the style of the cartoon, and its writer, Michael Dante DiMartino, is the co-creator of Avatar and Korra. That said, this book is a little heavy on the exposition. It spends a lot of time setting things up. Now, this pays off in books 2 and 3 of Turf Wars, but it does make this volume a little dry at times. We set up the presidential election. We set up the new status quo for the gangs. We set up the tension over who controls the spirit portal. We set up reactions to Korrasami being public. The supporting cast needs more to do than just react to Korra dating Asami and going in on fights. Only Mako and Bolin get some of that sweet, sweet character development while looking into the gangland situation. Now, don't get me wrong, when we do get action, it works. The art by Irene Ko is very nice and conveys a sense of motion. That said, I'm assuming Ko did the art digitally, or she only provided penciled pages and they were inked and colored digitally. This is a trend I see in digital art where the line work can be a little light and sketchy, and to my eye, that looks unfinished. Or maybe it's just rushed. I can't imagine that it's easy getting 75 pages done in one go. But there are times when the character models seem a little off. DiMartino writes the characters perfectly, and while Korra is as hot-headed as ever, there's also some growth as she's in a serious relationship and has to get used to Asami not always tagging along as part of Team Avatar. She has to realize that she can't just make all the decisions on her own now, and that's good, important growth. Mostly, I'm glad to see we get some physical intimacy. People seem to shy away from showing same-sex couples kiss in comics. It took years for us to get a kiss between Wiccan and Hulkling at Marvel. I'm glad we didn't have to wait that long for the official Season 5 story. I'm also glad Kaya got a moment to shine here. She's probably the most underdeveloped of Aang's children, so her being gay lets the creators find an organic way to inject her and the topic of same-sex couples into the storyline.
Hey, if you're a fan of The Legend of Korra like me, you're going to love Turf Wars, but I have to be objective. And objectively, if you're not that familiar with the greater Avatar universe, you might find Part 1 to be a little dry at times with art that's good, just not always consistent. I give The Legend of Korra Turf Wars Part 1 3 out of 5 stars. Having read the full story, I can tell you it gets better as it goes on. Read it if you're a fan, but if you're only casually interested in Korra, you might want to wait for the collected edition so you can get it all in one take. Thank you for joining me, benders and non-benders alike. Until next time, I'm Brian Heinz, the Last Angry Avatar. I can dream. The Last Angry Geek. It's not as cool.